Hello everyone, long time no see. I honestly can't even remember how I normally open up my YouTube videos, but my name is Monica and I am so glad you're here. Today we are going to be repotting. We're going to do a little bit of a chatty repot. I decided I'm just going to do, there's a lot of plants that I have to repot, but it's like, what time is it? It's 6 p.m. currently. The lighting is going down. I have a bunch of lights on right now to try and make up for the fact that there's no natural light, or barely any natural light right now, and I'm pretty tired. So I decided I'm just going to be repotting my one plant today. My philodendron McDowell. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, then keep on watching. So it's been a few weeks since I have uploaded. I quite frankly, let's get this guy out, shall we? This is my philodendron McDowell. Well, it was sold to me as a Pastazanum, but everybody has told me that he's a McDowell because he has, oh my god, he has the red new growth. He really needs a repot. As you just saw, he's very unstable, and he just needs to be put into a rectangular pot. So I have a rectangular pot. I have several rectangular pots actually, but one of them is entirely too big. The other one is not my preferred color. And then I have this one, which is a really cute one that I got from Target because it was on sale, but I think it's like barely big enough. But at this point, I don't care. I want to use this cute pot, so we're going to repot him into that. I know that I'm going to eventually have to repot him out of that. But that's just what we're doing today. So yeah, it's been a few weeks since I've recorded. I have been dealing with some pretty bad plant burnout. I just haven't really felt like taking care of my plants. I've gotten rid of a lot of my plants, not quite half of my collection, but a good chunk of it, at least a quarter of my collection. And I'm overwhelmed, and I have had a rough 2 months, and yeah, I've just needed to try and make my life easier, and I was noticing that I was letting a lot of my plants basically get to a point where they were very sad and I was neglecting them, and so I decided to just get rid of a lot of them. And it's actually good because I'm going to be moving soon and I'm not going to have as much space anyway, so I needed to downsize anyway. But yeah, that's where I've been. So I asked a few of you, or I asked on Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, go ahead and make sure you're following me there, because I post a lot more often there, and I will also ask questions about what you want to see on YouTube and things like that. So if I can get this open, this is where I keep my soil. But I asked you if you would rather see like me repot one large plant, or if you'd rather see me repot smaller ones, and as of when I checked, I think it was like 50-50. So I just decided to go ahead and do my McDowell just because he really desperately needs it. And I also put a little question box and asked you all to just let me know if there's anything that you wanted me to talk about. So that's what I'm going to focus on for today. For today's chatty repot, somebody asked, what's your favorite or most used substrate? Honestly, just soil. I did start using Leca and had a lot of my stuff in Leca. I did start using Pond, but I'm kind of over it. Yeah, I like Leca and Pond. I don't have anything against them, but I think just soil works the best for me. So this is the pot that I'm going to be using, and it does have a little stopper there, so I'm going to take that out because we want drainage on this big guy. Yeah, and I'm I do like leca for propagating, but I just found that I don't think it was the right option for me long term, but I do enjoy switching out my substrates. Sometimes I will leave things in just moss, like some of my anthurium actually that I would like to repot are in moss currently, and they do fine in that. So I'm really open to everything and anything, but I just prefer soil. So I know this isn't the best angle. You can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to get this guy out of this. I honestly don't know what the root situation is going to be like. Hopefully it's okay. I know I have let him get really dry in the past, so hopefully we're not dealing with too many bad roots. But like I said, yeah, I've really just, oh man, he's really grown into this pot. I've really just been neglecting my plants. Like there's no other way to put it. My poor little plants have been put through the ringer. Okay, these actually look pretty good. I'm gonna, oh my god. So that's the root system we're working with. I've been trying to get him to root from these other nodes, but I haven't had really success. So I'm just very loosely taking off some of the soil. I don't want to mess with the roots too much. I'm so scared I'm going to break him. I haven't had much success rooting him along these nodes here. And I don't know, I think higher humidity would help, but he's so big that I can't really put him like in a greenhouse or anything, so we'll just have to see. For now, he is not really rooted in any other nodes. All right, let's place him here. I'm realizing that I'm probably going to have to repot some other things. Guys, no, it's too small. My worst nightmare is coming true. I really wish he was big enough and rooted enough that I could cut him, like I said, because he's just getting so big and I would like to chop him and prop him, but he's only really rooted at the bottom there. But yeah, unfortunately this is not going to work out because he is not having it. Let me get my phone out actually and film this so you can see what I'm working with here. Yeah, so his roots, I mean, they look a little bit dry, but honestly, not terrible. At least, yeah, there's some that are definitely dry. These were not fully covered in the soil, so they did get dry, but the ones down there are fine. But yeah, this is going to be too small. So that is upsetting, but I suppose, oh my god, I think he's already working on another leaf in here. I can feel it. Yeah, okay, we're definitely going with a different pot. That's sad because I really like this pot and I just bought it specifically for this plant, but alas. All right, let's go get my second choice. Okay, this is my second choice of pot. I got this at Target. They only had this orange color, which I don't really like. It's not, I mean, this one is kind of more like terracotta-y. This Target one is, well, I guess they're both from Target, but the plastic one is definitely more orange, like brighter orange, which is not my favorite, but it's just what we're gonna have to do. So I'll put him in that. I don't know where I was headed. Oh yeah, soil, basically. The long one, that was a very long way of me saying that soil. Okay, so let's try this guy. Let's see what other questions I had. Somebody else asked, how do you decide when it's time to repot? Well, for this one it was easy because he's a crawler and he was basically just crawling out of the pot. He had outgrown his pot, literally. And for plants that aren't crawlers, which is, I feel like more plants are not crawlers than plants that are crawlers. For plants, I don't know, is this gonna be big enough? This is so frustrating, guys, I'm not even gonna lie. This is why I was really not looking forward to repotting this guy, because I knew it was gonna be a whole thing. Okay. How do we get your roots evenly distributed? Okay, I think that will do, and then he'll find his way. I think I'm gonna have to get a pole so that he has room to support himself. The other way is usually I'll start seeing roots coming out of the pots. So either if you're seeing roots start to come out of the top, like your plant is pushing out a bunch of roots at the top and they're not going into your soil, that's a sign that they need a repot. But also if they're coming out of the bottom, that means that your plant is outgrowing that pot. And I usually, depending on the plant, I'll let it get really root bound and just really wait a long time to repot it. Like with this guy, I waited probably more than I should have. But I find that a lot of plants do okay root bound, and actually if you move them into a pot that's too big too soon, they'll start focusing on root growth rather than foliage growth. So I let them get kind of root bound, and then I will move them into a pot that's 1 to 2 sizes bigger, ideally. I forgot to mention this in the video, but also another time I would consider repotting is if your soil starts to just get really compacted and it's becoming really hydrophobic and your plants aren't really getting an even amount of water. I would repot then as well. Okay, so since this guy's a crawler, I'll show you, I'll do some B-roll footage, but since this guy's a crawler, I want basically not to bury any of the actual stem. So he's just kind of going to be laying on top, which is why I think I need a pole. I don't know if I have one. I don't know if I have one for him. But yeah, that's kind of how I know how. And a lot of people will wait until spring or summer to repot. I don't really, for me personally, I don't really experience a difference on when I repot, so I will just repot it whenever the plant needs it. All right, let's see. What other question do we have? How's the Thai constellation doing? Well, long story short, it's dead. It did get root rot, or not root rot because it never actually rooted. It did get rot, and I chopped it up a bunch of times, and it just wasn't meant to be. It didn't make it. And if you didn't watch that video, one, you should go watch it. But that was a gift from Tyler, who was my boyfriend at the time. We have since broken up. It was an amicable breakup, and I really appreciate him as a person, but it's been hard. And so he gifted me that Thai constellation. I'm not going to go into more details because the internet doesn't need to know everything, but he gifted me that Thai constellation, and so once I realized that that plant wasn't going to make it, I was pretty sad because, you know, it held some sentimental, I had some sentimental attachment to it. So unfortunately that plant didn't make it, and but I have since then purchased another Thai. That one is my own purchase with my own money, and that one is supposed to come actually tomorrow, so I will be posting about it on Instagram, probably here on YouTube, but yeah, the Thai is gone. It is no longer. What made you interested in collecting plants? I don't really know. So my mom has always had plants, but I kind of had like plant blindness, which is actually a thing. Like I didn't even like pay attention to plants before I was interested in plants. And I'm from Costa Rica, and so there's a lot of nature, a lot of really beautiful plants, and I just like, I mean, I appreciated it, but not in the same way that I do now. I had this golden pothos that was always in my apartment that had been, it was a baby from actually my mom's plant. And so we just always kept it because it had sentimental value. And I don't know, I started, I think, collecting plants, starting my actual like collection in 2020 during, you know, when everything was shut down, and I just discovered like propagating and found, I think, a lot of solace in plants, and at times that was very hard. And yeah, that's how I got interested in them, and then I started joining Facebook groups, and I started meeting friends, and I met some of my best friends during that time, and so yeah, it's kind of just been rolling since then. That's how I started, and then I have ADHD, so it just became I became hyper focused on it, and now we're here. Somebody asked, tell us the vacuum story. Okay, so if you listen to the Potted Together podcast, if you don't, you should, which is a podcast co-hosted by my friend Becca, Della Plants and Becca Della Plants on YouTube, Nicole, My Clean Leaves, and Adam, not dude. And so the three of them are really good friends, and they have a podcast, and they talk about plants, and they also just like chat with each other, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. But anyway, I was featured as one of the stories on their podcast for the final episode of season 4, and they told everybody about my story of how I vacuumed up my I always say that, my philodendron white princess. I always want to call it a white pink princess. Oh wow, this is I can't, it's so floppy, it needs some support. Gosh, let me try and find, I need to find a moss pole for this. Okay. I stole this from my philodendron 6968, but I don't think I like this. Oh. Okay, maybe a trellis will be better. Let's try this. Oh gosh. Let me do some B-roll of this because this is hilarious. It's so bad. Okay, so this is how floppy it is. So I'm going to try putting it on a trellis, and we'll see if that helps. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, so yes, I did vacuum my white pink. I always do that. I did vacuum my white princess at a car wash, no less. And I did not recover it. So basically I bought a cutting of a white princess, and I was super excited about it. I had been wanting one for a while, and this one was really pretty. It was tiny, but it was really pretty. And I was gonna go to the car wash first, and then the person that I was picking it up from was like, oh, well, actually I'm ready now, so then I set it out for you, and so then I went and picked up the pink princess first before going to the car wash, and I was trying to be all responsible because my car was dirty, and I was like, oh, you know, let me be a functioning adult and go clean my car. And so I put the pink princess, I put the white princess in the cup holder of my car, And I got a car wash, and then I was like, you know, let me vacuum it. And so I go and vacuum my car, and I'm being extremely careful not to touch the plant. I don't know why I didn't just move it out of the way, like, entirely, but, you know, we all do dumb things, and hindsight is 20/20. And so I'm vacuuming, and I'm being really careful to not touch the plant, and all of a sudden I just hear, and I look down. If I find the picture, I'll send it. I look down, and all I see, where my white princess was, all I see is, this is so bad, guys. I can't, I don't know how to make this look nice. Does it need a bigger pot? This is tragic. This plant deserves better. This plant deserves better than me. Okay. I think that's the best we're gonna do. Look, it's like flopping everywhere. Okay, this is what we're gonna have to do for now. And I'll find a better solution. Oh! Okay. This is entirely unstable. I just made a mess. Oh no. I don't know what to do. Listen, this is why I didn't want to repot this plant today. I don't have the energy for this. This is the reality of plants when you are mentally unwell. Everything is a chore. Anyway, yeah, and so I just hear, and where my white princess was, there is no white princess anymore. And so it takes me a couple seconds to realize that, basically, I had just vacuumed up my plant, my brand new plant that I had just bought with my hard-earned money. I think this might need a bigger pot. I do have a bigger one. Oh no. Oh, this is turning into just an entire thing. Okay, and I have soil everywhere now. Okay. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Let's try this again. My phone just fell. Oh, God. Okay. You're fine, Monica. Everything is going to be fine. You just made a mess is all. It's all over my dress. And all over the floor because, of course, it fell not on the potting mat that I'm using, but on the carpet. On the rug. Alright. This is fine. Alright. See, the other one that I have is this one, and I feel like this is just way too big. I feel like this is just asking for root rot, you know? But I suppose we're going to have to do it. And hopefully he is okay. Am I going to have enough soil for this? I think I'm going to reuse some of this soil because it's really okay. Yeah, and so I just hear, and my white princess is gone. And, so then I just, like, am in shock. My phone, Siri keeps going off on my phone. So I'm just in shock, and I don't know what to do, and I text my friends, and I'm like, this just happened. And, I'm mortified. At this point, I've already left the car wash because what am I going to do? I'm mortified. I don't like talking to people. Like, this is literally my worst nightmare. And my friends basically convinced me to go back and ask them if there's any way. Who's calling me? This video is seriously chaotic. Okay. Anyway, my friends convinced me to go back and ask one of the employers if, you know, they're able if they're able to check the vacuums and get me my plant back. So I go and I ask one of the employers, and so I go back in the line through the car wash, and there's this girl there, and I'm like, hi, and I explained to her what happened, and I'm like, this is, you know, literally the weirdest thing that has happened to me, and if it was a cheap plant, I wouldn't have bothered, but it's kind of not a cheap plant, so if there's a way that you might be able to get it back, I'd appreciate that. And so she's looking at me the entire time like, who is this crazy person? Guys, I feel like this is just gonna get rot. This is so scary. I need like a size in between this, but I don't have anything. I'm really scared. This might be the worst decision ever, but it's all. God, should I just put it in the smaller one? But it's so whatever, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, and so she's just looking at me like I'm literally crazy. And then she tells me to, you know, go back to where the vacuums are. And so I drive over there, and then everybody was really nice, first of all. And so then this other guy comes up to me. He's like, so, sounds like you lost something. And so he tells me to describe what it is. And I'm like, well, it's a plant. I'm like, if you find a plant there, the likelihood that it's mine and that it's my plant and not somebody else's is pretty high. And so he, you know, he's really nice about it. He took my phone number and he looked in some of the, you know, whatever, in some of the boxes where the stuff goes. And he couldn't find it. He said, well, you know, we usually clean out the big one at night. So if he took my phone number and everything, my contact information, he said, if we find something, somebody will give you a call. If they don't find it, I can't really guarantee that somebody's going to call you and let you know. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. And so, yeah, I never got a call back. And my princess was probably stuck along one of the tubes. And it died. And that is the story of how I became a monster. I just let my poor princess die. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is not fill this all the way up. Does that looks so stupid, guys. This looks so stupid. Should I just have left it in the other one? I'm scared it's gonna get rot. I love this plant. I would die if that happened. But it's so unstable in the other one. I bet somebody's screaming at me right now to like put it in the other one. It's not rooted. It's only rooted along one end, and so it doesn't have like roots to stabilize it, you know? So I think that's where my problem is. I think this is worse. I think we gotta use the smaller one. Oh my goodness, what a mess! What a mess! I wish I hadn't done this. What an absolute disaster. Okay, back to the smaller one we go. Yeah, and that's the story of how I vacuumed up my white princess. I have not bought another one because I'm honestly too hurt. I laugh about it now. I think it's really funny now, and you know, I don't feel bad now, like telling the story or anything, but in the moment it was horrific, and I couldn't believe that it had happened to me. And the worst part is that I had also gotten a Hoya, and there was a Hoya there, and it was like a cheap Hoya. And of course the plant that had to be vacuumed up was my white princess. Like, it couldn't, the universe was against me. It couldn't have been my Hoya. It had to be, I don't even remember which Hoya it is. I must still have it. No clue what Hoya it was. I just remember the death of my princess. Okay, here's, you see, this is where I'm having difficulties is, let me show you on my phone. So this guy here goes down, and so it's like not deep enough. It's not deep enough to support it, but then this one is way too big. So, gosh. Maybe if I just like make a little hole here. Put and that's where like all the roots are, is in that one spot. Oh my god, how did it even stay up in that other pot? I mean, it was barely staying up. It was pretty dang floppy. But it was definitely staying up more than it is now. I don't know. This situation is not ideal. But it's the situation we're in, so we're just gonna have to make it work. I don't know, like, I mean, so I got these rectangular planters at Target, and they only had like the small one that I'm using now or the really big one. But I feel like this is better because I really am scared that it would get rot with this bigger one. There's just too much soil in it, you know? I realize that you can't see my face in half of this because this plant is so big that it's just like covering all of me, but I really just need to get this done, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to say, if anybody else has been feeling along the same lines where you're kind of burnt out on plants, it's okay to take a step back. I've come to the realization that it doesn't matter how many plants I have, you know, like, I don't need 100 plants to be a plant lover and plant collector, you know? I just need to have plants and love them and take care of them, and I would much rather have 20 plants and love them and be able to give them the care that they need and deserve than have 100 plants and have like 20 of them be dying, you know? So all right, please stay in. So I don't know what I'm gonna do if you don't, little trellis, please. I need you. Yeah, so just, you know, plants shouldn't feel like a chore, which this entire thing felt like a chore. But you know, like, I mean, they feel like, it's okay if they feel like a chore sometimes, but we collect plants because they bring us happiness and because they bring us solace and, you know, all these good things. And so if your plants are constantly just making you feel overwhelmed and making you feel like not good, then maybe that's maybe you should take a step back and prioritize, you know, the important things and prioritize the plants that really mean a lot to you and keep those, and maybe give the other ones to somebody who would have the energy and the time to give them the love and care that they deserve. Because at the end of the day, plants can be replaced. I know some of them are a lot harder to replace, but there's only one you. Oh no! Oh no! This is horrible, guys. Actually horrible. I don't, like, am I just stupid? Am I just dumb? Like, why is this not working for me? Why am I having such a hard time? It's like I don't know anything about plants. I'm a phony. I know nothing. No, this guy's just really heavy and this trellis is not enough. I really do need to propagate him because he's just getting too big, but I haven't had really good luck propagating crawlers when they don't have any roots to start off with, you know? Like just from node. And this guy only has the roots at the bottom, like at the one end. And so I'm scared to chop him. I need you to live, little guy. You're my or big guy, really. You're not little at all. You're my favorite plant ever. I can't just chop you and then have you die. That'd be devastating. I think that's the last question I had, so I think once I get this guy all settled in, which I think I've done it the best that I can. That'll be it for this video. Okay. This is super unstable, but that's where we're at. I'm gonna add just a little bit more Osmocote because I added Osmocote and then I don't know how much Osmocote there is now because I added a bunch more soil and got it all mixed in there. So I just added a little bit more. Don't want to add too much because I don't want to burn the roots. And then the other thing is we're going to add some systemic because I'm not even going to say the name of the insect, the bug, the pest that I don't want. But it's the one that rhymes with whips. That one. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but spider mites and systemic does nothing for them. So that's unfortunate. But the other guys, systemic will kill them. So, I'm not taking any chances. Okay, I think we did it, folks. I'm going to put it on top of my redstone, which is where it's going to go. I do have to add a light there, so just know that it's going to be a lot brighter once I add that grow light there. But, yep. Let's go put him in his rightful spot. Okay, I feel like everything that could have gone wrong in this video did in fact go wrong. So thanks for making it all the way through. I know I said I was going to put him in the redstone, on top of the redstone. But I put him there and then I hated it. And, I kind of hate it here too, but I have nowhere else to put it. So let me flip you around. This is what we're working with. He is entirely unstable, much like me. But you know, we're trying. He's still got room to grow here. This is the other one, which I don't know how well you could tell how massive this is, but there's the size difference. So yeah, this one was entirely too big, and here is the mess that I made all over my carpet. But yeah, this is where he's gonna stay. I tried arranging the leaves so that they would face this way, and I'm also dumb because I really should have switched the plant over and Well, what? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing my mind. But here is what he looks like. The new leaf is here. And yeah, not the prettiest setup, but it will have to do. It's covering up my art. Alright, well, I tried. He's been potted up. I did the thing. Go me. That's just the reality of life, you know? Things don't always go your way, and you have to be okay with it. And a lot of things have not been going my way, and I'm trying very hard to be okay with it. And I'm really proud of myself for doing this. I could have given up, but I did it. It's not perfect, but I did it, and I am proud of myself for filming and trying not to just lay on the couch all day. So, I hope that your day, your week, your month, your year gets better. If you are struggling like me, know that you are not alone in this. Know that there are lots of people who care about you, and I am proud of you for getting up today, and I'm proud of you for living, and I'm proud of you for being here. And on that note, that is going to be it for today. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button so you never miss out on any of my videos. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.